Coming soon to a cul-de-sac near you, it's Meet the Neighbors. Starring the always affable lady from down the street.
And get that car with your out.
No one is sure what started it, but she's on a mission to make Diane and Holly Richards pack up and move.
Bitch! You're violating my privacy.
I've had problems with my neighbor for about 6 years.
And get your off my property!
She'll call the police constantly for nothing. She'll say somebody broke a leaf off her fake tree.
Now get the hell off my property!
She'll wake up at 5 in the morning and start screaming at us. She leaves us threatening notes and letters.
She's even added some decorative flourishes to the Richards mailbox.
I painted it white, and she didn't like that, so she decided that she was going to repaint it herself.
After this episode, it was time to call in the police. But that just causes the town crier to vent her rage at the cop.
We needed something to show to the judge to get a restraining order.
And when the woman returns home one day to find a window broken, Holly and Diane are ready with a camera to get all the proof they need.
I knew right away that as soon as she saw that, she would be blaming me. I really had the feeling that this time she might get physically violent. She had her fists up in the air, and it looked like she was really threatening.
Unfortunately for Madam Neighborly, police discover that the window was actually broken from the inside.
We figured out that the dog was left in all day long, and she really wanted out, so she started jumping on the window.
The Richards get their restraining order.
You broke my window! Now you've gone too far!
But it seems nothing, not even this TV interview, can keep the persistent pest from stirring the pot.
Hey! The heck? Who's banging?
Oh my God! She's banging on this wall right here with a stick.
You're violating my privacy!
Unfortunately, there's no telling when this fracas will ever be reconciled.
I think the only way that we're going to resolve the problem that I have with my neighbor is for one of us to move. And I'm not going anywhere.
For now, it's up to the courts to keep the peace between these modern-day Hatfields and McCoys.
Angeles, where the cameras are always rolling.
I'm showing my speed at 100 miles an hour just to keep up with this guy right now.
This felon is only 3 months out of prison, but from the way he drives his stolen pickup, he's anxious to go back.
Now in the left-hand turn lane on the wrong side of the road, there's pedestrians. He just misses a pedestrian.
The country is glued to the screen as the suspect circles his neighborhood. Then he drives by his house, where his sister makes a desperate plea for him to surrender.
Someone in the road right there trying to stop this pursuit. Somebody is confronting this vehicle here. She tried to get into the vehicle.
Millions of viewers gasp as the man peels out, leaving her sprawled on the pavement. The man rages on, even as the truck disintegrates. It takes over an hour for the abused vehicle to fall apart.
Oh, there goes the tire. There goes the tire. He's running on the rim only at this time.
But the man keeps going.
He's boxed in here. Oh, he smashed into a vehicle.
Next, he commandeered a van. The startled driver told us about his bizarre experience.
He said, "Get out." And then before I knew it, he was in my van sitting on top of me. He's stepping on the gas and I'm stepping on the brake.
The vehicle's going.
I was watching it on the TV. I was getting ready to go out for an interview. And I went to see the outcome of it, so I put my VCR on.
He's carjacking another vehicle.
As I was going out the door, my mom says, "Now don't get caught up in that chase." Just kidding around, you know.
The vehicle's going. Now this is now a hostage situation.
He said, "Get out." And then I told my seatbelt was on, I couldn't get out. Then he opened up the door and shoved me out.
Person is trying to get out. Oh no, he's being dragged.
My arm was still caught in the seatbelt. I was shocked, like, what happened? Because it happened so quick.
That guy was being dragged.
The suspect races on completely out of control.
He has had total disregard for the red lights. Oh, look at that truck just being tossed around here.
And the more he tries to hide, the more cameras find him. The suspect, an obvious threat to everyone on the road, heads for one of the busiest sections of the city, the airport. Choppers have to back away from air traffic. When they move in again, they mistake this van for the suspect.
Okay, I've lost him.
But ground crews are unshakable.
No, wait a minute. No, there he is. Okay, the suspect's now southbound. The suspect vehicle is now southbound.
Then, as night falls, police get an alarming message.
We're now hearing from the dispatcher that the party will shoot the police. That's what he told his mother. He will shoot the police.
They prepare to ram the vehicle. But the suspect dodges their every move. He accelerates to almost 100 miles an hour, and then he loses it.
Oh, the vehicle's out of control.
The van skids into the freeway wall. 2 tires are blown.
And this is going to come to an end right here. Suspect getting out. He's going across the center divider. This is very dangerous. He's running across the lanes of traffic, and the officers are right behind him.
But the unrelenting suspect hits a chain-link fence, and the police stop him dead in his tracks.
There he is. You see him. He's on the ground.
In a city where stars are born, fame can be instant, even for the victims. Incredibly, no one was seriously injured, and the police got their man. A terrifying news event
Caught live on camera.
It begins as a standard traffic stop in Ohio. An officer pulls over 2 Montana men in a vehicle with out-of-date license plates.
Come here, gentlemen. Just your driver's license, please, sir? And the...
On its way, I got it on me right now.
Okay, got any kind of ID with you?
No, sir, I don't.
At this point, all the trooper knows is that the car's registration is outdated and that the occupants do not have any identification. In fact, these men are heavily armed and on their way to a white supremacist rally.
Now, we have 2 options. Let's sit back here with me a second, sir.
The driver walks back to the squad car, but refuses to get in.
You can sit here in the car while I run the check, and if you sit in my car, I'm going to search your person to make sure you don't have any deadly weapons.
I feel violated.
I'm not violating you, sir. You're going to sit in my car while we run these checks.
Feel violated.
I can arrest you for not having a driver's license, then I can search you, then I can put you in jail. Now, the choice is yours.
One of the options, sir.
Well, those are the options we have, sir.
As the driver gets more and more defensive, the trooper gets more and more suspicious.
You're going in my car. I'm not violating you, sir.
I feel violated.
All of a sudden, the driver makes a run for it, with the officer and his partner right behind. Then the passenger pulls out a gun and shoots out the driver's window. And he comes out firing. Now with the attention on the gunman, the driver jumps back in the car. With a gun to his head, his foot hits the accelerator and he's gone. Amazingly, neither the officer nor the shooters are hit by gunfire, and both suspects manage to escape. But the suspect's luck soon runs out. Within days, both men are captured and charged with attempted murder and possession of stolen weapons. It's a traffic stop in Dallas, Texas.
Hey, let me get you, come on over here. Let's get off the side of the road out of the way of that traffic there so neither one of us get run over. Ma'am.
That's very good advice from the safety-minded trooper.
Ma'am, the reading for your stop today is for your speed. You're traveling a little bit too fast. Is your address still correct there in Houston?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And there's a passenger in the car.
All right. You can just hold tight for a minute, all right?
Once again, the cop issues his warning about safety.
Let me get you, come on over here, man. If you're up here and anybody hits the back of my patrol car, it's a good chance you're going to get caught somewhere in between that car and your car. And if you're not caught in between, you may still get struck by one of the vehicles. I don't want that to happen to you.
That saves her life.
Just like that, see? Just like that.
The van hits the car so hard it almost rolls before skidding off the road. Thanks to the officer's safety precautions, this woman is completely unharmed. She runs to the wreckage to check on her passenger as the cop calls for help.
Okay, don't move them. Don't move them. Do not move them.
You're getting help. You're getting help.
Don't move them, okay?
He's only slightly injured, and help is on its way.
Keep them still, okay?
Be still.
EMS is coming.
Okay.
Don't move.
Okay.
There's a simple lesson here. Always take a trooper's advice.
Hey, let me get you, come on over here. Let's get off the side of the road, out of the way of that traffic there, so neither one of us get run over. Just like that, see? Just like that.
Grand Rapids, Michigan. A man walks into a convenience store with one goal in mind: stealing money any way he can. The clerks are busy behind the counter, and the only other customer is an elderly man. And with a wad of 20s sticking out of the patron's pocket, it seems like the perfect setup for an easy score. While he's distracted playing scratch-offs, the crook sidles up behind him. But when the overeager robber goes for the green, he gets a big surprise. The instant he touches the money, the customer turns and unloads a barrage of bare-knuckled blows. This is no feeble senior citizen. He's a triple threat. Ex-Marine, iron worker, and one-time Golden Gloves boxer, who proves he's still tough as nails. With the help of a cashier, he subdues the stunned pickpocket until police arrive. Jesse Daniel Ray pleads guilty to assault with intent to commit robbery and is sentenced to 6 months behind bars. This elderly man seemed like an easy mark until he dished out an old-school lesson in hard knocks and rough justice. Iowa. When you think of the burbs, you think of picket fences and quiet streets. Not natural disasters. But this normally tranquil subdivision is invaded from above by a violent tornado.
Come on! Let's go!
As others run for cover, Jeremiah and Doug Nance stand awed by the spectacle.
It almost seemed like it got quieter for a second, and then when it got right there, then it got really loud.
They say a tornado sounds like a freight train, and that's what it sounded like.
The eye of the twister is less than a block away. The brothers are so close that debris around them is actually being sucked into the funnel. Suddenly, a neighbor's house is blown apart. By sheer fortune, the tornado passes them by.
We're real lucky that it just stayed on the other side of the road there, because I thought it was coming right for us.
Oh my Jesus, Lord!
In its wake, entire homes have been reduced to rubble. Suddenly, the two brothers hear cries for help.
Come on! Yes, yes, yes! Is there anybody else in there with you? You all right? You all right? I'm okay.
The woman, Becky Seaman, managed to survive, even as her home was destroyed around her.
I just heard this big whoosh, and I feel my house shake. I heard this great big boom.
Did you see that?
And then everything just came crashing down. I couldn't get out the front door.
Jeremiah and Doug help her and her dog to safety.
I am so happy to be alive.
The ferocious storm cell leaves the quiet community looking like a war zone. The Nance siblings are just lucky their close-up encounter didn't add them to the suburban waste heap.
Oh my God! Hey, I think we got a little mini movie in that though.
Well, there goes our first video.
There it is. Day one.
South Central Los Angeles. A few friends with a video camera capture a terrifying sight. It begins as a road rage incident as the white car slams into the compact in front, and the driver keeps his foot hard on the gas. The driver of the car in front has already called police and refuses to budge. That's when road rage turns to absolute fury as stunned witnesses look on.
Call the police! Call the police!
The driver veers onto a front lawn and plows right over a bystander. Witnesses rush to stop the driver from fleeing or causing any more destruction.
Get him out of there! Get him out of there! Don't let him go! Get the keys! Get the keys! Get the keys! Open the door! Don't get him out! Just get the keys! Hold on! Break him off if you have to. Yeah, don't let him go nowhere. You hold on to him, man. Just let him say for the police. You ran over. He going to jail, man. That's attempted murder. He tried to kill Romo. And you see those tie treads? I got it on video. Oh, what's on? You got everything? I got everything, man. I don't believe this. The baby got that. No, he ain't got to worry about it. He's cool now. Leave him alone. He can't go nowhere.
Paramedics arrive and tend to the victim. Miraculously, he's still conscious and suffers only minor injuries.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. That's what's up. That's it. That motherfucker killer that. So he on something. He got to be on something.
Witnesses are convinced the suspect's under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
He got to be on some heavy.
Police officers arrive, and the driver turns belligerent.
That's a big mother. That ain't no little mother.
Paramedics check out the suspect and decide to take him to the hospital. The suspect's booked for driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs and held on $100,000 bail. With this tape serving as an eyewitness account to a brutal assault by car.
When the shift is over and it's time to relieve the tension of a tough day's work, nobody loves a good practical joke more than cops. But how do you surprise somebody who deals with the bizarre and the unusual every day? You get a crew of master pranksters to set up hidden cameras everywhere. Then sit back and watch things unfold. Dooley County, Georgia. Rookie officer Benny Hunter is only minutes from ending his day.
Hey, how you doing?
When he's called to the scene of an unusual accident.
This your car? No, this isn't my car.
Little does Hunter know, this is all a big joke, and everyone's in on it. The partner, the victim.
I've already called about this actually twice.
Even the suspects. That's right. These two professionally trained border collies are the suspects.
It's on this part of town.
What happened?
These guys have been driving up and down this morning, like back and forth for hours, and like doing stuff in the middle of the street. And finally, they just, I mean, look what they did in my yard here. My mailbox is gone.
The deputy hears the man's story, but something seems off. He decides to get some clarification.
Who's been driving? I'm not really sure. I think it was probably the black and white one.
The dog?
Yeah.
The dog's been driving the car.
Been flying up and down.
As As ridiculous as the situation is, the deputy's first job is to find the truth.
Anyway,
Any identification?
I'm glad you find this. Yeah.
Trying to fully grasp what's going on, the officer asks a few basic questions.
Yeah. Maybe that's what the second one's for. I don't know.
Then the strange gets even stranger. Deputy Hunter has dispatch run the plates. It turns out the car's been stolen. And from where?
About Cordell Animal Hospital. I've seen it. That's weird.
These guys are not just bad drivers, they're hardened criminals.
I'm telling you, man, it's the black and white one. You know, I'm not kidding. I stood and watched them go back and forth. I mean, when I called in originally, that's why I called. You know, I mean,
the deputy can't believe his ears, and probably shouldn't.
You know, in Atlanta, they don't let dogs drive. I don't know about down here.
I ain't never seen a dog drive a car.
Out of nowhere, a third officer arrives.
Am I running DI?
Yeah.
He's also in on the joke, and there's no way he's missing the punchline. Now, only one question remains: what to do? Suddenly, for the deputy, things aren't so funny. He has no idea how to handle the predicament. He gets the major's opinion.
Your call.
Then he gets the man's opinion.
Well, I definitely want the prosecuted.
He even gives the driver a say. But ultimately, the decision is his.
Well, they look guilty or something.
The other officers wait for just the right moment.
Hey, come on.
The moment is now. They decide to let their colleague in on the joke.
You've been pranked, Vinny. Oh, me.
The major reveals the many hidden cameras.
You look over there and wave. You look right in there and wave. You wave. You ain't got nothing better to do.
And now it's time to show the deputy who's responsible for all of this.
Thanks a lot.
Really appreciate it.
Great. Hi.
Congratulations are given for a well-executed prank.
Good job, Cujo.
But in the end, Deputy Benny Hunter of the Dooley County Sheriff's Department has the last laugh.
I don't care what you say, I'm still going to charge him.